Hi, I'm Melissa Sherfinski. I'm an associate professor of early childhood and elementary education at West Virginia University. And I'm here today to share a few tips about communicating with teachers during the COVID-19 crisis. And so at this time, when everyone is under a lot of stress, I think that a little bit of patience and kindness on all sides can go a really long way. And so at the beginning of the school year, it's important to, first of all, find out what mode of communication your teacher would like you to use. Usually the teacher doesn't get to choose, usually it's chosen for them by the school district, but there are many things they might be using: telephone, email, text, apps like Class Dojo or Seesaw or Remind, or a platform like Google Classroom. And so just kind of nailing down what those are and then figuring out how to use them if you don't know already. An important tip, I think, is if you try to test out some of these tools and you find that you're stuck and you can't figure it out, it's real important just to use another mode of communication, maybe email or telephone, and let the teacher know so that they can help you or find someone else who can help you so that you can get in the loop as quickly as possible. That's really, really important, I think. And so in addition to those few tips, I also think it's just really important to stay on top of all of the communications coming in from the teacher, checking emails every day, and just keeping track of your student, if they have an issue uploading a document or if there's a problem with a grade or something similar. Just making sure that you reach out as soon as possible and get that taken care of, because it can be much more difficult when it gets closer to the marking period. So all of those things, just kind of staying on top of things as much as possible is really, really helpful. And so also it may be possible for you to get a parent or observer account on your child's platform that they're using. That's something you can ask about. And that way you can see what your child is doing more clearly and you can participate and communicate better that way. But again, that may not be possible, something to ask about. Let's see. And then also, it's important to double check and make sure that the teacher as well as the school have your most recent email and telephone number in case they need to reach out to you for whatever reason. It sounds basic, but it's really, really important. And finally, I just wanted to share that sometimes it is really challenging for families to communicate with teachers. Maybe there's been a bad experience in the past, but there's a psychologist named Sarah Lawrence Lightfoot who's written a book called The Essential Conversation, and it's about how families and teachers can communicate together during parent and teacher conferences specifically. But she has a great tip that I think can be used at any time. And her idea is that when there is a conversation between parents and teachers, it's important to put the child right at the center of the conversation. And that way, if the conversation starts to veer off in another direction, someone can just say, okay, let's refocus this conversation on Samantha or Brett or whatever your child's name is. That's just a good tip to bring it back to the center, to what's most important in the conversation. And so with that, I'll leave you. I wish you a wonderful school year, and I wish you wonderful communication with your child's teacher. Thank you.